Entre pa' que te enteres, este es el detalle. Si caliente está la cera, más caliente está la calle.
Mira, llegó el son cubano.
Hola mi gente, and welcome back to another video from the We Are Investing channel, a channel that is dedicated in investing and personal finance. On today's video, we are going to go over a stock, a very cheap stock. It's at around $4 a share. And this stock, this company, Kevin O'Leary is investing heavy in. So he likes the company, he likes the sector, he thinks that this is going to be a great long-term investment and that he's going to make a ton of money. And when Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, wants to talk about an investment, I am all ears because he is super successful. He has made a ton of money for himself through investments, and I want to be just like that when it comes to making money through investments in the long term. So this is a company that I do not think you want to miss out on. Now before we dive into the video, please consider hitting that subscribe button, ringing that bell, and smashing that like button. And also do not forget about the Patreon page. We do have a Patreon, and on the Patreon I post whenever I open or close a position, so you get to follow the portfolio in real time. You also get early access to videos I upload to the Patreon before they go public on YouTube. And you also get access to a Discord server of over 400 members where we talk stocks on the daily, and a lot of members give out fresh picks every single day where we are making money together. And this is why I call it We Are Investing, because it is not one person, it is a group effort, and we're making money as a group, and I absolutely love that. So definitely join the Patreon if you can. A link is provided down below. Alright, so let's get this video kicked off by hearing from Kevin O'Leary himself on this investment opportunity, and then we'll dive deeper into the company and I'll give you my final thoughts when it comes to this stock.
Right, but at that lunch, and this is the serendipitous nature of investing, this guy called J.R. Rand, he was a crypto guy at the time, said, look, if you think that's nuts, I have something I want to talk to you about. I want you to fund me to bring LSD, MDA, psilocybin mushrooms as medicine. I said, are you crazy? Like that stuff is illegal. He said, yes, it is. But in the 50s and 60s, they were researching it as medicine in microdosing and having really interesting outcomes. I want to go to the FDA and create a company that goes through clinical trials. And I thought that was brilliant. So I became a very early investor in MyMed. I became an advocate for the whole sector. I'm a spokesperson for it. I'm a big believer in these medicines. And lo and behold, JR's company is now a $2 billion market cap. And I'm one of the early seed investors. It's the best investment I've made in decades. And I think it's just the beginning of the game. MyMed is, when you invest in biotech, you want the largest number of molecules and the most trials because you don't know the outcome in any of it. Either it's binary, either it's a loser, it's a zero, or it's a spectacular outcome. That's the nature of biotech investing. But if you're only betting on one molecule, you have huge risk. JR's got multiple molecules, multiple trials, multiple countries. That's his plan. And so he's quickly become the leader in the space. He's the guy. And so I'm a huge fan of that.
All right, so you heard it, folks. We are talking about MyMed. Now, this is a psychedelic-inspired medicine company, and it trades on the OTCs under MMEDF and some other exchanges. Now, if you don't know, you cannot invest or trade OTC stocks through Robinhood or Webull. You need a different brokerage. I personally use TD Ameritrade. You can use Fidelity. You can use Schwab, E-Trade. There are many brokerages that offer access to OTCs. Just do your research and find which is best for you. But I highly recommend it, especially in today's market where people are picking a lot of stocks in the OTCs and they're going up a ton. This is definitely a stock picker's market, and small cap, penny stocks, micro cap stocks are definitely playing out very well. They're playing out better than your mega cap, than your large cap stocks. That is why the Russell 2000 and small cap stocks have been beating the S&P 500 index. Now, I would consider this a very long-term investment. You have to be willing to hold your position for 5, 10 plus years because it's going to take some time to play out. Now, it's also an investment that is very speculative and high risk. You have to be willing to lose every single dollar that you put into this stock. But it is worth it in my personal opinion because the upside is just so large that if it does happen, you're going to be filthy rich if you put money into this company at even today's prices. And that is just my personal opinion though. Now, when we take a look at the total addressable market for MyMed, we can see that it's estimated at over $100 billion globally. Some of the sectors, some of the issues that they are trying to solve include anxiety, ADHD, addiction, and depression. Addiction alone accounts for $42 billion. Depression at $9.6 billion. ADHD, 9.5, and anxiety, 4.7. And also, check this out. According to the National Drug Abuse Data, overdoses have increased 42% since the pandemic. And these numbers have been continuing to increase time and time again. And that is, unfortunately, just increasing the total addressable market for this company. Now, the biggest issue at hand is definitely addiction. It is estimated that addiction treatments have led to a 2.5 trillion USD problem. 700 billion US dollars annually spent on opioid use disorders. 92 million have prescriptions for opioids in the United States. And there has been a 395 increase in overdose deaths involving prescription opioids since 1999 to 2018. So this is definitely a problem that we need to solve as a nation, as a world, because addiction affects so many people. These people are suffering, they need help. And also, when someone is an addict, their production back to society is far less, and that is hurting the GDP and other things for the nation and the world. So this is something that I think governments can get behind on. They should definitely get behind on, because they're part of the reason why it happened in the first place. These large pharma companies that prescribed opioids left and right is a reason why we have such a problem with prescription opioid addictions and how that is impacting so many people worldwide. Now, just yesterday, this company signed a partnership with Swiss psychedelic drug discovery startup Mindshift Compounds AG and expands development pipeline and IP portfolio with next-gen psychedelic and empathogenic compounds. The company plans to work with experienced drug discovery team at Mindshift Compounds AG to further broadly cover preclinical psychedelics research into novel compounds, and expects to continue to file a substantial number of patents on a large number of novel substance matters, production innovations, and later clinical applications, allowing MyMed to further consolidate its leading position in the overall psychedelic medicine market as it moves these next-gen compounds into the clinic through advanced patent clinical trials. Now, typically when you invest in a biotech stock, it's pretty much boom or bust on one drug, one technology. However, with MyMed, they're going to have a lot of patents. They're going to have a lot of compounds. So it's not boom or bust on one thing, but it is boom or bust on the sector. But I definitely think that that helps with the risk to reward ratio, because they don't have to strike it big on just one thing. They have multiple chances, they have multiple opportunities, multiple products, multiple compounds. So that, in my personal opinion, definitely decreases the risk. Now, if we take a look at the charts, we can see that the stock is trading at $4 a share. Extremely cheap when you consider how much this stock can really grow in the future if they're successful. Now, the stock has a 52-week high at $5.07. If it gets back to $5, that's going to be great returns at the $4 share price. But you do have to be aware that the stock has really increased since December. Before then, it was trading under $2 a share. That would have been a better time to get into a position with this stock. But like I said, time and time again, when you consider the long-term play here, the long-term potential, it doesn't make a difference if you buy at $2 or $4. You're still going to get massive returns if successful. So that right there is just a quick dive into a company that I think has a ton of potential. I think that this sector has a ton of potential. And MyMed, in my personal opinion, is leading this sector. So it's probably the best place to put your money if you want to invest in this sector. And that is why I am going to invest in MyMed in the future. I don't have a position today. I am going to open up a position. When I do so, at what price, all of that will be disclosed on the Patreon as soon as I make that investment, because I post on the Patreon whenever I open or close a position. Now that wraps it up for this video, guys. If you like the video and the content that I am providing, please consider hitting that subscribe button, ringing that bell, and smashing that like button. Join the Patreon, join the community, and also down below in the video description are links to my Facebook group, are links to my Twitter. I am starting to become active on there as well, and promotional links to Webull, where you can get 2 free stocks worth up to $1,600. But you know the deal. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. And this is We Are Investing, and together we are invincible. See ya.